This is Scott Becker with the Becker Private Equity and Business Podcast. Here are 20 quick stories that we're following today, and we'll walk through these very quickly. Thank you. First, futures in the markets are pretty flat today. We'll see if that holds. Second, the markets are having a heck of a rally to start the year. Third, the NASDAQ is up 8.29% to start the year. Fourth, the S&P 500 is up 5.98% to start the year. As a side note, the Dow is also up year to date. Fifth, great story in Yahoo Finance about Nike. Basically, this Nike needs some new styles, not just retro ones to keep winning. And we have a separate podcast that's coming out tomorrow. Keep to your core and keep creating the Nike story. But Nike has to constantly look at creating that vibe, making new ideas, new lines, new concepts, and so forth. So the concept being 80% of your core, 20%, you better keep creating, you better keep on being inspiring and doing interesting things. The sixth story, I love Patrick Mahomes. I'm a fan of Brock Purdy's. But goodness, I'm sick of the Chiefs winning, who won in overtime in the Super Bowl yesterday. Seventh, Tesla stall as investors wondering if it's still magnificent. Bloomberg story. Eighth, Tesla's down 22% year to date. Ninth, three of our most listened to guests on the Becker's Healthcare podcast, Don Cinco of Cleveland Clinic, Justin Oppenheimer of the Hospital for Special Surgery, Caitlin Stella, CEO, Nicholas Children's, just phenomenal leader. Fourth, John Corus, CEO of Tampa General, fascinating leader. 10th, Intuitive Surgical is up nearly 60% year to date. Kudos as always to Gary Guthart and his amazing leadership. 11th, NVIDIA keeps rolling. It's up 45% year to date. 12th, here's five of the most listened to guests on the Becker Private Equity and Business Podcast. Two of these are from RSM. Two are from McGuire Woods. Two are from VMG. They're one episode together. Rick Kess and Matt Wolf from RSM. Amber Walsh and David Pivnik from McGuire Woods. And finally, Jordan Nelson and Glenn Morley from VMG Health. Thank you very, very much. 13th, at Amazon, read Blocking and Tackling, 60 Keys to Building a Business, Manage Your Money. That's by myself and Graceland Keller. Second edition coming out soon. 14th, a shout out today to my favorite people, my father Mort, who turns 90 today, as well as the CEO of Ombre, Elise Cantarsi. My full disclosure is Elise, the CEO of this venture capital funded company, is both like a sister and my first cousin. So there is disclosure there. 15th, Amazon is up almost 50% year to date. It keeps on rocking. 16th, at Becker's Healthcare, we have two meetings this spring that are going gangbusters. First, our annual meeting in April. We'll have President Bush, Michael Strahan, Bill Belichick, and Martha Stewart speaking. And second, the Orthopedic Spine and Pain Management Driven AST Conference, plus the Business of Specialties. That's in June. 17th, one of my favorite phrases of the week is pick a different adventure. We'll have a different podcast on that concept shortly. That comes from one of my favorite people in the world. 18th, Israel rescues two hostages in a daring raid. God bless them trying to defend themselves. 19th, the Becker Private Equity and Business Podcast. Thanks so much to our listeners, to Chanel Bunger, and the constant sort of effort to stay at this. It was number one on the Apple Business News podcast almost all of last week. A real honor. Thank you. Finally, 20th, we have a separate podcast in this concept too at Becker's Healthcare. 5 key leaders that keep reinventing themselves. And this is a shout out to Dr. Mark Harrison, Dr. David Feinberg, Terry Fontenot, and Nancy Agee. Really amazing people, as well as Amir Dan Rubin. Incredible what these 5 have done and constantly reinventing themselves and growing. 2 others that can be added to the list outside of healthcare, Shelby Bates and Ron Zaslow. My hats are off to you. Thank you for listening to the Becker Private Equity and Business Podcast. Thank you very much.